But now it is time for Alex, who's with Matrix Illusion. So I'm hoping no one gets sawed in half or made to disappear, because with us now on Chaos TV, fresh off their national TV appearance on Britons Got Talent, we're so excited to welcome Alex from the amazing Matrix Illusion.
Hello, Alex.
How you doing? How's things?
Doing very well, thank you. Thank you for joining us today. This is cool. We've not met before. I'm looking forward to delving into a little bit about what you guys get up to. Mm-hmm. So before we talk about all the exciting BGT excitement, let's reel it right back to the very beginning and tell us a little bit about who Matrix Illusions are. Oh, I think we might have frozen a little bit. Oh, no.
We got a freeze. We're frozen. Oh, no.
Oh, there he
back.
is.
Sorry, did you catch that?
Did you miss that question?
I didn't. I missed all of it because my internet's so good. But we blame Owen Yelland for that. I don't know if you know Owen Yelland, but
good old Owen. Yeah.
Thanks for that. Anyway, what was your question, guys? I do apologise about that.
Not a problem. So I just said, before we jump into all the BGT gossip, I want to know a little bit about who Matrix Illusions are for those who don't know you already.
Yeah, so Alex is my name, and I began an illusionist when I was as a kid, and I then created the act when I was about 9 years old, and then on from then, created the show and just kept going and kept going. That's me basically, and then we were very lucky to become contestants on this year's BGT.
That's really cool. So how did you actually originally find your interest within magic and illusion and all of these kind of amazing things that you've been up to? What sort of made you interested? We have got some choppy connection here today. Sorry about this, everybody.
Oh, apologies, everyone, if we're losing Alex.
Oh, we've lost him again. Uh-oh.
Here he is.
Alex, can you hear us?
Am I back?
Yes.
I can hear. This is horrific, Mr. Yelland. Anyway, so from being a kid, always wanting to dream of being a magician, as a child, and then making it a reality when I was about, I don't know, I must have been about 18 when we went official and got paid for a job. So, I'm now 30.
Amazing. I feel like there is a joke here somewhere in regards to you doing a little disappearing act on us with your internet.
I love that.
There's got to be a joke there somewhere. But Alex, so tell me, I believe that your act, it sort of runs within the family. Is that right? You've got your partner or your sister involved as well?
That's right. Yeah, my sister's in it, my wife's in it, everybody's in it. My mum and dad is not, thank goodness. But my sister and my wife, which is pretty cool. My wife definitely, but my sister's testing on times. But we've worked together at a very young age, so I'm used to it.
Do they ever get like a bit fed up of you if you're like, oh, I've got a new idea for like a new trick, and they're just like, oh, for God's sake, not again?
They I don't know, it's a hard one because the thing is, we do disagree on certain things, but at the same time we do agree on other things, and it's about finding, because we work with each other for so long, we've kind of found our balance. But they do tell me if I come up with something stupid, they go, that's terrible, we can't do that, and vice versa, really. So we have a good understanding when we're creating stuff. And I'm not very good with the choreography dance side of things. That's not what I do. So I come up with stupid suggestions, and that they very quickly tell me, no, that looks terrible. But then but we all have our different, what's the word, different areas we look after it. So but it is challenging working with your family, but also at the same time it's cheap, and no, I'm joking. And yeah, no, we're very privileged and very lucky to be able to work together like we do. So yeah.
That's really cool. So like, what about so you were saying about your process just then about kind of putting forward ideas and things. How do you end up staging a show? Like, what's your process in creating your illusions, and without, giving away your trusted secrets, but like, how do you come up with them? Do you just brainstorm, or like, what's your process?
Lots of long van journeys. It's often a music track, or I'm listening to a song, hits an idea, and when that hits like, oh, I wonder if we could do this, or I wonder if we could do that, and then that gets put on a piece of paper. If I find a piece of paper somewhere, I then draw something which sometimes, a lot of the time, doesn't even end up looking like what the finished product is. But then you go, right, okay, will this work? Then I go to my fabricators for those, then we build like what we call a mock, again, without giving anything away, but we build a thing called a mock. Then from then we digitalize it and create a visual of what it will look like, and then hope it will actually go down okay in an audience. As soon as you put it on that stage, then if it's going to be all right or if it's not. And it is a risk you take when you're creating a new piece of magic. But honestly, I can't tell you how many times it's been long van journeys what sparks an idea and gone, okay, I want to do this or I want to do that when I'm in my own headspace. And it's hard. I can't just perform on the spot and go, okay, make an idea now. You have to. It can be a long process, but then also if you are forced into, okay, we've got to create something quick or whatever, then it really depends. But I prefer the process of, in my own headspace. And a lot of the BGT stuff was done like that, with the music and stuff like that, sparking ideas. And yeah, it's a great process. It's a strange process. It's an expensive process, but that's I've been doing it I've been creating illusions, what I reckon, since about 2013 now. So
wow.
I'd say about 2013 I started creating illusions.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I actually find it, I do find it really fascinating. Can you sort of tell us, obviously without giving away any of your tricks, like what is the most darish thing you've done, or have you got like a favourite trick, illusion?
Probably one of the most challenging things I've ever done is probably on the semi-finals, creating a live drum kit, appearing a live drum kit. That is probably one of the most challenging things. How on earth do you appear a live drum kit with someone playing on it, let alone the drum kit actually is a real drum? How do you do that? And it was 2020 lockdown when I created that actual. Well, I've been thinking about it since I was like 14, but the actual the design and how to do it is 2020 in the lockdown. So that's how long ago we but that was probably one of the most challenging things, I would say, because it was out of my comfort zone. We're not just putting a girl in a box. So I think I would definitely say that's for sure one of the most challenging things I've ever done. And also appearing, basically live musicians with that it was something I never done before, and it was definitely challenging to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, what a platform to challenge yourself on, isn't it? I mean, we have to touch on your journey to Britons Got Talent and talk us through how that came about. Was it yourself or your family that sort of thought, I'm just going to apply for it and see what happens, or how does the process work?
So funny enough, in I think it was about 2012, BGT did a live audition thing on YouTube. They tried it out for 1 year, then they scrapped it. And what it was is you had to post your video in, and you posted your video in, and they would choose if you would obviously go into the audition in front of Simon Cowell and everything. So I did that and didn't get through on that, and that was not with Matrix. Then in 2014, I then was like, oh, let's audition as Matrix. We auditioned, we got the yeses, and then we did the reveal, and we didn't get through to the lives, and they didn't show any of our audition. So there's a lot of us not got seen, so we never got seen. But we did it, and then we're like, right, I'm never doing it again. Because it was very stressful. It was well, no. Then we had the idea, the human quick change, yeah, it was a case of going, do you know what? This is our time. I think this is right. Let's do it. And I'm very, very, very happy and very pleased that we did do it. And it was, putting it in that perspective, how many times we tried to, it's just all about doing the right idea. And I think it was all about the first idea, because if you get the first one right, it doesn't really matter what happens on from then. It's all about that first audition. And yeah, it was that what put us on the show, to be honest. And it was a very, very nerve-wracking experience. And but yeah, I'll treasure it for the rest of my life, for sure.
So speaking of, as someone who's now gone there, been backstage, experienced all the kind of rush and I'm sure excitement that's there, what kind of stood out for you within that experience? Like, just being actually there in person, what was Britain's Got Talent like for you?
I had to look at it in a completely different way. I suppose any contestant would, though, because we're used to doing theatre and stuff like that, and I had to just treat it as this is just a usual theatre gig. This is just another theatre gig, and it was just the Palladium surprised me. What surprised me the most is the fact how small it was, actually on stage and stuff like that, and that helped in a way. But it was a case of, I think it was just, to me, a very, I don't know, I think because I'd done it in 2014, I would say I looked at it in a very different way. Going back to when I first did it in 2014, it was like walking out onto a TV show. It was like you're in the TV, and it is exactly, when you see it on TV, it looks a lot bigger on TV, but when you meet Ant and Dec, when you meet it's like a pinch yourself. It's a very strange sensation to try and explain. When you're speaking to the lads, when you're speaking to them, they are literally like you get on TV, and it's just literally like you've just jumped into your TV and there you are. But then at the end of the day, it's just a theatre. It's just a show, and that's how I had to treat it. You do get rushed about a lot. You get ferried in, ferried out, pushed here, pushed there. Literally, right. You got to go there. You got to film this. You got to film that. We were filming for so many hours, and none of it got shown. All the talking bits and stuff like that. And coming out at the end, there's so much what they didn't show. There's so much they didn't show, but it's just all about what they have to do in the edit afterwards. But on that day, it's a very, very long day. So people just think you just walk in there, do it. I'm telling you, you don't. You turn up at 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, and don't get out till, I don't know, 8, 9 at night sometimes, so it's a very long day just for those few minutes. But yeah, there you go. That's the experience for me.
And obviously, I think one of the things that stands out the most from your performance, which I think obviously got people's attention as well, was when you had the Simon Cowell lookalike within your act, which was
so good.
Which was a brilliant move. As someone I'm a massive TV fan, I love TV in general, and I'm digging for some gossip now, Alex. tell me some sort of behind the scenes. What don't people know? What did you get chance to speak much to the judges behind the scenes, or tell me some gossip? I want the juicy stuff.
Yes, I mean, actually, after the first audition, we were last on between the break. They do 2 sessions. They do an afternoon session and they do an evening session, and we were the last on in the first session, and I was standing backstage with like the magic consultant and a load of the crew. Ant and Deck walked through. They stopped their security and stuff to speak to me, what was really nice. So I spoke to Deck for a bit, and same with Amanda and Simon. And Simon actually stopped, did the old elbow shake, because at that time it was really, hefty in COVID. We had to be really careful. And so we did the elbow shake, and he said how much he loved it, and the choreography and the way he just was going on and on at me backstage. And I was like, I wish cameras were getting this, because it was such a nice moment, and even with Amanda loves Cornwall. She always comes down here, and she had a nice little connection with us, I think. So and it's funny because when those cameras stop rolling, they're just them, and I think I saw that in Simon. He was, he wasn't playing that character. It was just him being him, and it was a really nice, nice moment I had. I spoke to David. I've spoke to David before, but in the first time we did it in 2014, I spoke to him then, and I spoke to him again this time round in the semis. That was, though I didn't see him afterwards in the auditions, but in the semis I spoke to him because our dressing rooms were right by his. So I spoke to him briefly. Then I had a good chat with Ant and Deck. Spoke to Ant for a while actually on the semis, on the lives. That was a really They just I was able to have a real true insight of what goes on, in TV world. And I got to tell you, the team really, they are really good. Like the crew, we bonded very much with the crew and the people who run it. But as for a standout gossip moment, I have got a massive piece of gossip actually on the live, and I don't mind saying it because I think people should know, and also in a way of some of it got out anyway. But Simon actually asked the little girl to come to his dressing room because the second bit on our stint on our live was pre-recorded because of the setup of the skates and the setup with us and so forth. So they had to. It's crazy what they do on a live TV show. But anyway, he actually asked the little Lamorna to come to his dressing room and gave her Jaffa cakes and who knows what. And it was because he pressed the buzzer on the Simon Cowell lookalike, which was quite funny that he did that in a sense, which I guess we knew kind of was going to happen anyway, in a sense of he's either going to love this or he's going to hate it. And anyway, then he started apologizing and trying to take it back, and he spoke to the producers and said, can we take the X back, can we take it, and they're like, no, we can't, and so forth. And it was cool that he in a sense he actually stopped during someone else's act, during their speeches at the end. He started talking about us.
Yes. And
like that was a bit crazy. Then we ended up all in the press and stuff. But people don't know that he actually got Lamorna back to his dressing room to speak to her, and that was pretty cool in a sense. But anyway, he plays the character. He he gets in that moment on that judging panel, and he is actually a really nice guy. But at the end of the day, what I will say to everybody is, remember, it's a TV show. It's a TV show. Yes, it is a talent show, but at the same time, it's a TV show.
Yeah.
And we had a fantastic experience, and there's lots of good stuff what's come out of it. So, gossip wise, that, and there is some other stuff, but I'm not going to tell you that.
Well, we'll take the exclusive that we got already. We'll take that.
Absolutely. So we're going to be finishing up in a couple minutes, but we have to talk about Matrix going to the West End, as well as you performing in Newquay throughout the summer. So can you tell us a little bit about both of those things, which sound very exciting?
Tall trees to the West End. So we've got we've got a West End spot in the part of a show called Wanderville, which opens in August, and that's going to be going from August, September, October, and we'll be appearing on certain spots during that time, which is pretty awesome. It's something I've always wanted to do. The fact that we get to say we're going to be in the West End is just phenomenal. But coming home to that, we're going to be in Newquay at Tall Trees Mondays, and there's a possible extra few days, like a Sunday and so forth, which starts on the 25th of July, 25th of July, so a couple of weeks. And you'll have to come down, you'll have to come and see the show. Newquay's not far from you, is it? So
it's not, no.
You'll have to come and see it. So we open from the 25th right away through to, I think, the 5th of September. But you can get all the details for that on our website and Tall Trees' website. And just whatever you do, please spell Matrix Matricks. Don't spell it with an X. All right. So you get a guy in sunglasses. You see, if you get that, and a leather jacket. So and I definitely don't do any of those moves. Matricks illusion.com for your links and stuff if you want to come and see the show, and the details about the West End shows will be on there as soon as the dates are all locked in, the sense of there'll be dates literally from August, September, October, so that they're just being worked out. But it was released last week, which is, it's all very exciting. I'm very humbled that it's all happening for us. So Absolutely. There we go.
It's amazing, because it does just prove, you go on a show like this, it gives you a platform and it opens new doors, new opportunities, regardless of how far you get in the show. It's given you a wider audience now, which is fantastic for these new bookings. So it's all great stuff. And we have to just quickly mention as well, with our man Owen in the gallery as well. Owen obviously involved behind the scenes as well with you guys at the Britons Got Talent event. So we just want to drop that in there.
Owen was there. He was
shown as well.
There he is.
We saw him. I paused. He keeps his appearance brief.
Owen came on working for me when he was like 16, something like that, I think. It's great. He's been with me a long time. He did good.
Amazing stuff. Well, it was amazing to have you here, Alex, and really interesting to hear about the whole experience firsthand. So best of luck with West End shows, as well as in Newquay. We might catch you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You never know. That could be cool. But we're going to be finishing here.
Yeah, lovely to meet you, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, no problem. You take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, brilliant stuff. We like a bit of background gossip and a bit of...
Yeah, it's interesting to hear that. Owen did tell me that gossip already, so I did I only heard a little bit of it. But it was still super cool and interesting.